Hi people, today's subject is the absurdly difficult to connect and disconnect universal push to connect air tool couplers. I'm going to start with this one. This is the kind of coupler that comes shipped with most portable air compressors these days. It's push to connect, it's universal in that it accepts the Aero style, the True Plate or automotive style, and the Milton M style or industrial style. It accepts them, and they more or less don't leak, although that changes pretty rapidly in my opinion. The thing about these couplers is people like myself can't connect them. Maybe if the pressure was down to 70 or 80 psi I can connect it, but at pressures I typically use 110 psi up to 120 psi, there's no way I can connect or disconnect this thing. And I think it's obscene, really. It's awful that they actually standardize on stuff like this. Let me show you. I'm going to put some pressure on it. Well, here, let me show you here. This is a standard industrial plug, and I'll just push it in with no pressure on it. Okay, not very difficult. Hangs up a little bit on the seal, but at least I can connect it. All right, now let me put it. I'll put it under pressure. Right now it has 110 psi on it. Okay. I'm not joking when I say I cannot connect it. I'm supporting my hand against my desk best I can. I'm pushing down. I literally can't connect it. I gave it to a friend of mine and handed it to a friend of mine a couple times, and I said, "Hey, can you connect it?" And he barely could. He's a big burly guy, hockey player. He could barely do it. I literally cannot connect it. And no pressure, I can connect it. Let's connect it here. Okay. Now it's connected. Okay. See if I can disconnect it. Impossible. Cannot disconnect it. Depressurize? Yes. So I have to depressurize it in order to connect it and deconnect it. And connect it and disconnect it. If I try to rotate it, oh my God, it just doesn't even want to rotate inside the coupler. It feels like it's going to break if I try to rotate it. Not, of course, not true with the this coupler, the Stedlin. I want to. So, in my view, well, from real testing, I tested these couplers and I've tested the force required to connect these things at different pressures up to 50 pounds of force. At this pressure, I suspect the force is around 38 to 40 pounds of force. Could be slightly higher because friction is a factor. Whereas the Stedlin takes just a few pounds. And unlike this one, the plug is designed to actually rotate inside the Stedlin. So I would say this is the hardest coupler that I've ever tested as far as connection and disconnection. There's a lot of high flow that are just as bad, well, not quite as bad, but just about as bad as this. And Stedlin, of course, is the easiest to connect and disconnect coupler I've ever tested, by far. At 110 pounds, it takes about 10 to 11 pounds of force to connect it. Nothing to it. So, I highly would suggest that if you're having trouble connecting these things, which I'm sure a lot of people are, everybody is not a weightlifter. There's actually people like myself that have some arthritis and some nerve issues that will never be able to connect and disconnect this thing. So, you might want to take a look at the Stedlin.